At this Hamilton hair salon, happiness tempered by trepidation. The province walking a fine line with reopening.
I'm happy to be open, but I'm also nervous because there is definitely a possibility we could close again because the cases are going to go up.
In most of Ontario, salons, gyms, restaurants opening at limited capacity. All this easing up happening as more contagious variants are on the rise. 7% of all positive tests in Ontario are now variant cases. And while the overall case count is going down, Ontario is still dealing with rampant community transmission and about 1,000 new cases a day.
We're opening the economy as we're having kids go back to school, as these variants become more and more dominant. We're changing too many things at once, but if the goal is to protect the health and safety of Ontarians, I think this is a bad decision.
The province concedes cases could very well spiral again. It's ramping up asymptomatic surveillance testing at schools and sending more rapid testing kits to essential workplaces. Following criticism, it was slow to deploy them. Still, the province is not being aggressive enough, says this epidemiologist.
We get a bit faster if we just take our time and not let too much transmission happen in the short term so that we can let the vaccines do their job.
Experts, including one of the province's top medical officials, say paid sick leave is crucial. But Premier Doug Ford scoffed today at reinstating the provincial program.
People need to know that if they're not feeling well or they need to go get a test, they're not going to lose their pay.
Restaurant owners Jennifer and George Varagos were forced to lay off staff in the first lockdown. They're now hoping for the best, fending off fears of the worst.
If a third lockdown comes in, I don't see it making it at all. I mean, we're barely making it now.
It's so hard for people. Ellen, the heaviest restrictions, it seems, are still in place for the hardest hit parts of the province, including the Toronto area. Any sign of when those restrictions start to lift?
Well, those won't be lifted or eased for another week at the earliest, Adrienne, in places like Toronto and Peel that remain in lockdown with the exception of the schools. That would take us to February 22nd, again, at the absolute earliest. The fear of public health officials, though, is that this may just simply be too much too soon, especially with those variants, and that before too long, the province could find itself back exactly where it started.
Again. All right, Ellen Morrow in Toronto tonight. Thanks, Ellen.
You're welcome.